I just got a new job as a guillotine operator. I'm going to be heading there shortly.
All right, welcome to episode 24.
He says confidently.
Pretty sure 24, yeah, of Bros, Bubs, and Beers. I am the EST of Triple B, Pat Gagne, and with me, well, not with me, because he can't, because we're not allowed. I
Not
have
anymore.
Matt Tooties Gagne, and of course, Jordan, the Jackhammer Schofield. Gentlemen, it's nice to see your faces on a screen again. This is the best.
Super fun.
I hate this so much.
Well, you hate it for other reasons, more reasons than us, I think.
Yeah, editing these Zooms are atrocious. Like the audio's all over the place. Like the mixer is a godsend, and it's no longer here. So I get to go back to doing like numerous hour edits, making sure that our voices sound as good as possible, which I cannot wait to do.
Yeah, and it's like.
But anyways, beyond that, guys, I'm super happy. You know,
but you're really good at it.
So yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that sounds terrible.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, that's got to
smell. Guess you already opened theirs.
Oh, I can't. Well, why would being on Zoom and being in person change that? Come on.
I know the brown ale is pretty good. I'm excited to hear what you think of it.
The brown ale from where?
Little brown jug. Little brown jug.
Listen to me here.
It just doesn't feel the same when you're not, when we're not together.
I want to touch you guys so bad.
You can't do that regularly. Like,
right, we'd always be freaking 2 meters apart anyways. But anyways, so yeah, so
I would argue we had the most socially distanced podcast on the planet. I would like come in a mask and we would sit like across the room from each other.
Yeah, I feel like you were there, but you weren't there.
We're safer than most places of business. I'm 100% sure of that.
Oh man, yeah. So for those of you who don't live in Winnipeg and don't live in Manitoba, so there's about 5 of you that don't know what we're going to talk about here. Yeah, all of Manitoba pretty much in code red. So we're stuck indoors. Go to work, come home. Well, Jordan doesn't go to work. Jordan hasn't gone to work for months and months.
I would kill to go to work again.
You were going to say to get on a plane.
I can't believe I'm saying that. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I would.
You should just drive to like a park one day and just sit on a bench.
I thought you were gonna say like drive to like a campus and just sit in my car. And I was like, I'm not that desperate.
Or because normally you travel so much, you should rent a room at a hotel and then just
just for one night.
Just go to Travelodge. Get a room from Travelodge.
Yeah. Tell
maybe you're wrestling at doubles.
The Hyatt across the street.
The Hyatt.
Yeah, just go to the Hyatt across.
I'll be gone
street.
for a night.
If I forget something, if I forget something, I just walk home, get it, and walk back to the Hyatt.
No. You got to go to like the gas station or something and buy it. Like, go buy a gas station toothbrush.
I gotta go out for dinner. Have meals out only for breakfast.
sit at a booth like you're by yourself.
Yeah, Walmart. Yeah, so McDonald's for breakfast or Starbucks, and then find like Subway for lunch, and then eat dinner somewhere else.
Legitimate question for you, Jordan. Would you go to like restaurants and sit by yourself and eat dinner when you traveled?
Oh yeah, man. I was a veteran of the. I would find a restaurant I thought was interesting or like a brewery, and I'd just sit by myself and
talk to
order like a couple. It would either be I'd order like a beer or two and eat dinner, or if it was like a Thursday night and I knew I was just flying home Friday, I would usually separate the bills just out of respect for the company, and I would pay my own liquor tab, and then I'd put food on them. But yeah, no, I was a vet. I would just sit and talk to bartenders. Like there's a guy named Rusty at a place in Edmonton who had great wings on a Wednesday night, and I would just go eat wings with Rusty the bartender, and we'd talk about hockey. That was my Wednesday nights in Edmonton.
I always picture Jordan like that guy who's like in the hotel bar, just like meeting people, finger pointing, finger guns. You know, hey,
I'll see you next time.
Where are you from?
Yeah, It wasn't the hotel bar. It was the bar next door. It was like the closest brewery I could find. And then I'd be like, sure, I'll try there.
What is within walking distance?
Those, not always. I was a frequent Uber user if I had to. If I had to Uber 20, 25 minutes to go to an interesting place, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Oh, I mean, like, what's holding you up, right?
Because you didn't pay for it, or?
I usually did. The Ubers, I felt bad.
Hey, Jordan, check it out. We're not even in the same room, and Matt's still on his phone taking a
And
picture
Matt's
for
on his phone
Untapped. Do it
again.
later.
No, it's for the pod. I need the.
We have all this time in between Zooms. You can
We're
just
not
do it.
even in the same room, and I hate you still.
Well, you can't hit me now, so why don't you go fuck yourself?
Usually if I'm on my phone all the time, it's because I'm like checking the score of the game, which you told me I didn't even take the Bears today, and I knew it, and now they're winning. And that's how it goes, right? I was going to take Bears money line.
We're not talking about it. This whole weekend was a disaster.
I think we should talk about it.
The NFL
This whole weekend was a disaster.
I went 2-5. If I'm as good at the NCAA as I am bad at the NFL. It's like it evens things out.
You know what? I did 2 parlays. One parlay was like, okay, the can't miss parlay. You know, if you listen to Bar School, can't miss. Can't
lose parlay. Can't miss.
Can't lose. It was it was money, and then the Bucks couldn't figure it out. And the Packers couldn't figure it out because, you know, why win by one touchdown when we gotta lose by
they
3?
didn't even hit the over. The Packers missed the over.
Don't get me started on the over, because my other parlay was 3 overs. You know how many hit the over?
0.
All under. The Browns are the scum of the NFL. The absolute scum.
Is it the Browns or the weather? The weather or the Browns?
You got to power through that weather, and you got to get the over.
Yeah, because I took the over in the Pats game. Bill Belichick, that witch, called a torrential downpour in so that they couldn't figure it out.
It rained. It rained.
You know what's
so
awesome
much.
though? It's like 5 minutes after the game ended, the rain stopped.
Yeah, and what's great is the Browns. We were all sitting or talking in our group chat, and we all get the message at the same time that the Browns game is delayed due to weather. And every single one of us who had the over quickly grab our phones and find out our bets are locked because it passed the start of game time.
Yeah.
And how many points did they score of a 48-point over? 17.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun for the whole world.
The only things I got right on the weekend, at least NFL-wise, was the Chargers over, and and the Bucks -6. I thought that was a lock. That was the easiest thing,
right,
ever.
So like, you guys, like, would you consider this a hobby?
No, because I also bet on the NCAA, Matt, and I went 10-5.
Okay.
I'm not good at this. I've come to realize
I feel like I'm pretty good on the NCAA side.
You know what you guys should start playing, because it's super fun?
What's that?
Clash of Clans?
Keno.
Keno? Did you just make up a word?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
So at work we started playing Keno. There's 80 potential numbers.
Sounds with like Uno for Ukrainians. Ukrainian Uno. Oh no, I know what a Keno is. It's the main speaker at an event. It's the Keno speaker. I think that's the only 2 jokes I can make for Keno.
There's 80 numbers, 80 potential numbers. You can pick anywhere from 1 to 10 of them, and then they draw.
Matt, this sounds like you have a really good lock on it.
Matt,
you have a lock on it.
I might as well bet on horses. Is the Assiniboine Downs running?
Matt, quit your job, because you just play Keno professionally. I think with that. We've
bought $10 worth of Keno tickets. We have won $3.
So why would I do that? That sounds worse than betting on the NFL.
Because when we hit and we make 25 grand, you guys will hear about it.
Yeah, you sound like me when I took the money line with the Vikings.
Then I would from Keno. Did you take Vikings money line?
I did.
Can we talk about why you shouldn't do that?
Jordan, you bet on Texas every week.
Look, Jordan, here's what I did.
I didn't bet on them this week. Not because they weren't playing.
Our intervention worked, Pat.
Finally.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't play. Like, they weren't available to be betted on.
Okay.
Okay, Jordan, this is why I picked them. Can I explain?
Sure, I'll let you go first.
Okay, the Bears have lost 3 straight.
So they're due. This is simple.
Kirk Cousins has not covered a spread in 9 primetime games, and the Vikings have won 2 straight. So that means the Vikings are due.
Got it. Okay. The Bears have a really good defense against a one-sided Vikings team that can only run the ball. And they're not playing the Packers, who are essentially like the Swissest of cheese. The Packers defense, if it was Swiss cheese, is actually no cheese. It's just a big hole. So when you take Vikings, you know what? And I'm going to do this. I'm just saying, like, the value's not there. If you put a unit down, you make back way less on a -3.5 money line. Like, you might as well bet the Bears on the other side, because 3 points at home is essentially a pick 'em.
Jordan, if the Vikings win, I'm the smartest guy in the room. So that's what I'm about.
That's true. And if they win by 4 or more, then you could have been even smarter. But yeah.
Are you done?
I'd like to change the
I'm
subject.
done now. Sure. I mean, Pat was super spicy today about like 95 different things. So, like, Pat, do you want to be spicy about hockey jerseys, or do you want to be spicy about PlayStation?
To stay on sports, let's go after these new hockey jerseys that came out. What were they called?
I'll actually bring them up. They're the retro reverse jerseys.
Yeah, reverse retro jerseys. Reverse retro jerseys. Let's start, because we're Winnipeg. Let's start with Winnipeg. Do we like?
Hold on, I'm going to bring them up on the screen.
Oh wow, he's sharing the screen.
Reference.
This is
okay.
See, and you say you hate Zoom. We could never do this if
I
we
do.
were.
I hate Zoom.
Oh, this is great. We can watch Jordan look up stuff.
I can't find the document.
Is this your work computer?
There it is. This is my work computer.
That's what you brought up.
Paint.
That's what you brought up. What the hell is
so
this?
small? Why is
because it's paint. You gotta zoom it. You gotta zoom it up.
Hold on. This is going great. I'm not panicking. You're panicking.
I can just share my screen.
Why are you printing it?
I don't know why I'm printing it.
No, it's sideways.
There. It's fine. Just leave it there.
It's sideways. Okay, everybody panic.
Oh, God.
Okay, open it. Just open it. I will guide you through this.
Open with Google Chrome.
That's kind of better, I guess. Okay, so we're just going with Canadian teams?
Guys,
yeah, okay, let's go Canadian teams here.
Okay, if you look at Canadian teams, the Jets have the best jersey out of everybody. Was that a laugh, or were you screeching? I don't understand what that was.
Okay, so here's the order. Here's the
order.
appropriate order.
They forgot that they were allowed to use color.
Can I explain the proper order here?
It's for James, colorblind bastard. He thinks the main color is green.
So here's the proper order. Of these jerseys, you go Montreal.
No, wow.
Then Edmonton. Then Toronto, because it didn't change at all. It didn't change at all. Then Ottawa. Then Calgary. That logo's atrocious, but
no,
I mean, it's okay.
You're already wrong.
Then Vancouver's is pretty nice.
It's the same.
Why is the Jets the only one that's different? Why is the Jets the only one that's different?
No, the Leafs is atrocious. The logo's the size of Asia. It's so big. The logo, like when Austin Matthews skates out, the logo will be covering his eyes. It's so big. Like the top of the Leaf will be in his eyes, and then he's gonna trip over.
Bigger or smaller than Ryan Cabrera's header?
Alexa Bliss's new fiance. He might as well be a bobblehead. I'm convinced that someone
10 years older than her.
Did you know that was Ryan Cabrera from MTV fame? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's 10 years older than her. He's almost 40. She's not even 30.
Yeah, his head's as big as the sun. So
it's
I don't know what she's doing. Like it's painful to watch them.
They're very cringe. I feel like they sit together in their pajamas and watch The Beauty and the Beast every night. Like they're very cringy.
Whoa, what's wrong with that?
Okay, let me get back to these jerseys.
Yeah, these jerseys.
Canucks is 1.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
Canucks is 1. Habs is 2. And as I'm a Leaf fan, and I
really like that Habs jersey.
Is very cool. Yeah, the Habs jersey is awesome. So here's why the Leafs are going to be 3, and it's very simple. At least they changed something. You know what? Actually, put Calgary 3 because the Angry Horse is interesting. So we'll put Calgary 3. We'll put. I like the Leafs 4. The Sens and the Oilers didn't do enough for me. It's like, this is supposed to be the retro, and it's terrible. Okay, and here's the problem. I think the Jets made a jersey that looks cool in theory. It's like, I think that's a cool hat. Like if the Jets jersey was a hat,
yeah,
it
that
was
would be.
gray and it had the blue, I think it's a cool hat. I do not think you'll see any Jets fan wearing that jersey. I think that jersey is so boring.
Time out.
Can I go?
And first
Can I
of
go?
all, why? No. Why isn't the Arizona Coyotes jersey a Jets jersey? Their retro jersey. And why isn't the Jets retro jersey an Atlanta Thrashers jersey?
Okay, so let me explain that. Okay, the Coyotes.
Mark Savard leading scorer in your history, technically.
Because the Coyotes are old enough where they actually have a retro logo. Okay, and the Jets aren't going to be the Atlanta Thrashers, not the same team.
Exactly.
But why are the Nordiques the Avalanche?
Because that's just a cool logo.
But your logic is flawed, Patrick.
When Vegas got a retro jersey, I never laughed harder in my life.
Okay. Okay, here's the real rankings.
That's how you know this is a money grab.
Here's the real rankings. Jets 1, Flames 2, 3, Canucks 4, Ottawa 5, Oilers 6, and Toronto sucks. That's 7. It's just a big leaf.
Really? The Oilers jersey is nice.
It looks the same.
It's the same jersey.
Guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but they all look the same other than the Jets.
That's atrocious. No,
they don't. The Canucks jersey doesn't look the same at all.
Calgary doesn't have that logo anymore.
The Canucks.
Yeah, and the Leafs jersey,
the same colors as their current jersey.
Helicopter on Frederik Andersen's chest this year. If Frederik Andersen falls down, a plane might try to land on his chest. That's how big they think it's a helipad.
Helipad.
Look, guys, at the end of the day, these are terrible. And for Jordan to say that no one's going to buy that jersey, there's going to be 10,000 Jets fans wearing that at a game. It's a money grab.
Because you already have a super cool jersey that doesn't need to be changed at all.
Yeah, but
you know what?
I actually love the Jets jersey.
Do you like the Aviator? Their third jersey?
Yes.
Yes. I think that's their best one.
Oh, I mean, come on.
You mean, come on. That's their best jersey.
Actually, you know what?
Like the one that says Jets on it?
Yeah.
Galaxy brain thinking here. The Leafs made the logo super big for when Anderson has a rough night. It's like a big bullseye, right? They're just like, hey, guys, hey, other team, can you please try to shoot it at his chest?
Well, that's the thing, right?
I think that's what
it draws the eye.
I think this is Galaxy brain thinking. They're like, you know what? If we make this logo the size of the net, they can't hit the net.
Let me explain to you.
If my wife wouldn't divorce me, I'm digging that Montreal jersey. I don't know why.
Look, really here's what happened. I'm going to give you a little bird's eye view into what happened into the Toronto Maple Leafs brainstorming session for their jersey. You're like, what do we do? Oh, I got an idea. You know the leaf? Yeah. Let's just make it bigger. And we'll say it's different. And you know what everybody said in the room? Yeah. That's what that jersey is. That's all.
Pat, do you know why they did that? All the other teams did this to probably recoup money from COVID losses. And the Leafs were like, what's COVID losses?
Yeah, you know what?
They were like, what do you mean we're losing money? Are you sure?
So when the Jets came back, the first year the Jets were back, they were second in merchandise sales. Do you know who they were second to?
Probably the Leafs because you're setting it up.
The Leafs. Is that incredible?
Yeah. No. The biggest market.
Excuse me?
Biggest hockey market.
We are the biggest market. The biggest hockey market.
There's bigger cities.
Yeah, there's bigger cities than Toronto. Yeah, I'm aware.
But there's not a bigger, like, if you're talking about, like,
hockey
numbers
interest, yes.
typically down between TV and gate. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they have it.
But don't say they're the biggest market, because that is a false statement, you dumb shit.
This is why we can't be in the same room right now. I can't handle this shit right now. Like, what are you even talking about?
Full disclosure, we just started, but I am 3 beers deep, so.
Yeah, because you don't have to drive.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell else happened? Hey, like a really random thing. Did you guys see that huge alligator on that Florida golf course?
Okay, so
that has to be photoshopped, right?
No, that was real.
No.
I go to Florida. I'm not going this year, but I've been to Florida the last 5 years. Well, see, my in-laws have a condo in Dunedin, so
why aren't you going?
Because I can't afford it.
Oh, okay.
That's a lie. I got lots of money. I got lots of money saved. We could go.
Because we're not allowed to go anywhere ever anymore.
Because I don't want to be on a plane with COVID. I mean, Lenny. Lenny's the guy with COVID that I'd be sitting next to.
Oh, I see.
Because this would be the first year we would have to actually buy a seat for my daughter.
Can we just, everybody listening, can we just
What happened to the
apologize?
alligator? Were we talking about an alligator?
Yes, I will get to the alligator. So, 2 things about the alligator. Number 1, go golfing with my father-in-law. Shout out, Doug. And he brings me to a course, and he's like, every time I go to this course, I see an alligator. And I'm like, there's no way we're going to see an alligator. Like, no. In my head, alligators are mythological creatures like dinosaurs.
Well, this big one is a dinosaur, so.
So hold on. So we're on, I don't even know. I think it was like 17 at this golf course. Can't remember the name of the golf course. Hit my drive, middle of the fairway. No big deal.
This story's a lie. This story's a lie.
No, I was aiming 2 fairways over, so it like sliced into the fairway. And he goes, "Oh, you almost hit that alligator." And I was like, "What?" I look. There's an alligator by the pond. I'm like, well, I'm not going anywhere near that ball. He's like, no, just wait a second. As soon as we get close, this thing will jet off into the water. I'm like, no, alligators kill humans. That's how it works.
It's not a horror movie. They're scared of you, man.
Yeah. So we were like 100 yards from it, and it jetted into the water. But man, there's alligators on golf courses everywhere in Florida.
Yeah, but the best part was I watched. There was a Deion Sanders there. He's working for Barstool there, and he's doing his football picks. And they showed him a video of that on their phone. And Deion goes, "Yeah, so that's normal. That's a normal alligator." And they're like, "No, it's not. That's not a normal alligator. It looks like a dinosaur. It looks like a huge, massive dinosaur."
Isn't Deion from South Florida?
Yeah.
So maybe for him that's just like
the other
that's
thing.
not
He was
normal
going
for
to school.
anybody.
He's like, "Hey Tom, hey John, hey." Like,
when you're in
the alligator, like he was just hanging out.
When you're in Florida, one of the most entertaining things on television is the 11 o'clock news. It's hilarious because
Florida man doing stupid shit.
Because Florida, but
alligators are my biggest fear.
Every other day,
there's time out. That's your biggest fear?
Yeah, they're terrifying.
Okay, hang on.
Paper cut in the eye. That's my biggest fear.
No, you want to hear my biggest fear? When I go grocery shopping, I leave my cart that's full of food. Someone steals the cart.
But it's not paid for.
Where do you grocery shop, and about what time would you?
You know what? That has been my one fear my entire life. When we went with Mom and Dad, Matt, we would have the shopping cart full of food, and we walk away like, "Mom, do you want me to stay with the cart? Why?" Well, if someone takes it, again, we haven't paid for the food, but in my head, it's like that's our food, and I've spent time putting that food in that cart. I don't want anybody.
Pat, I'm gonna follow you to the grocery store one day and just make off with your cart.
You know what? I went grocery shopping by myself not too long ago, and I left my cart full of food. And as I was away from it, some lady started pushing it, and I'm like, "Excuse me." She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was my cart." And she went to her cart and started pushing it. So it almost fucking happened.
Question: how is that worse than a paper cut in the eye?
It's not,
because that one's realistic.
Yeah, like why would you get a paper cut in the eye?
You could get imagine getting a paper cut on your eye.
You wear glasses. You literally have active protection.
I wear contacts usually.
Yeah, but it's not like you're doing a lot of paperwork.
Then you have a
Why
thin
are you
layer
on paper?
of protection.
I don't know. What if somebody throws a paper at you and gets you in the eye like a ninja star?
Oh my shit.
Speaking of ninja stars.
No, we weren't, but all right.
So walking to work today, shout out Neil that I work with, has a pair of nunchucks that he found in his basement. Are they nunchucks? Are they nunchucks? Or are they numchucks?
They're none.
They are nunchucks.
Nunchucks.
You know what's super cool? Nunchucks.
Not nunchucks.
Yeah, no, not nunchucks.
Why not?
You know why Matt's acting out? Matt lost something this week. Matt lost something dear to him, something important. I was driving down Pemina, and a restaurant that I never thought could close. A place that sold
the greatest steak ever.
Strawberry
that's not
lemonade,
what I said.
and the best and great steaks and $15 all you can eat riblets.
That's a good day.
A place that you thought was just like a steel trap of a business that people would be climbing over themselves to order from on Uber. Applebee's closed on Pemina, and I was mystified as to how a place of such stalwart and upstanding restaurant business
you know what
could fall victim. when such a loyal Matt, how many times have you ordered from Applebee's since COVID started?
3.
Shit, no
3.
way.
That's what he's fucking lying. I put the over at 1.5, and I would say that. There's no chance.
For sure 3.
Did you get a steak from there when you ordered?
No, why would I order a steak from Applebee's on Skip the Dishes? Why would I do that?
It was the best steak in the city, so
why would I do that when I can make my own steak because I'm at home?
Because you're ordering and you're trying to support local businesses, which you obviously didn't do enough of.
Okay, so you know why that location failed? Because there's no university students right now. If there was university students, that place would have been hopping.
That's true. If there's one place I know university students climb over themselves to go to, it's fucking Applebee's.
Hey guys, what do you guys want to do today? You guys want to go to Applebee's? No one fucking says that.
Yeah, man, 2 for $1 margaritas.
Do you want to go to whatever version of area is still there? Nah, we can go to Applebee's.
Let's put on tight t-shirts and go to Applebee's. Get some riblets.
You got to get some riblets before you go to the bar.
Oh my god. All right.
If I ever did that, I would just not go out.
The greatest thing.
You'd feel terrible.
We used to pound back McDonald's before we go to the bar.
That's different. That's not the same. That's not the same.
It's exactly the same.
I mean, university is the time for eating ridiculous things. Like, I still hold an active record at a Red Lobster for most endless shrimp eaten in one sitting.
How many?
I'm not joking.
Many?
205.
Holy shit.
205 shrimp.
It's real. The Red Lobster in Brantford, Ontario, 205 shrimp.
Hey, Jordan.
Felt so bad the next day.
Jordan, the ocean called. After? They're running out of shrimp.
No, a shrimp hasn't looked at me the same since.
Jordan,
it was an amazing display. The table was at 800. I think we cracked 800 by the time it was done.
I have a question. I have a follow-up question to this.
Sure.
What did you guys do after eating all the shrimp?
We went home and each of us didn't do anything for at least 24 hours because I was on the shitter for
Okay.
I mean, a bad visual, but I was dying. But it was all a bet. We all were like, hey, the person who eats the most, everyone else owes them. Oh no, the person who eats the most didn't have to pay for dinner. And so usually
and the shrimp's like $20.
I know, but I asked them to stop putting on the other sauces and just put on the applewood barbecue sauce because it was the lightest one of the 4 available. Breaded was too heavy and butter was going to make me sick. So I asked them to switch to barbecue sauce, and I think I had there was 180 shrimp with barbecue sauce, 180 of them.
How could you?
And I can corroborate. Corroborate that story. If needed, I could get at least 3 people to say they were there. I'm not saying I put that on my resume, but it is the main reason I have the job I have right now.
I think I could eat more.
I challenge you to go to the one Red Lobster we have and attempt to fight your way to 2. I don't even know if they'd let you do that anymore. Yeah. The people in the back were ready to go home. I was like, no. I have to at least hit 200. The only reason I got to 205. The only reason I got to 205 is because the first batch came out in 25, and then everyone after that had to be 10. So they just, it was 195 or 205. I had to run up the score because I could.
No, but why?
Why
do they bring out smaller quantities?
Cool.
Oh boy!
Because they don't want you to eat so much. Joke's on them, idiot.
I'm just saying now. Us doing this on Zoom is a bad thing because we always interrupt each other, and if you interrupt each other on Zoom, no one hears shit.
No, we got way too comfortable doing the in-person where we could pick out every little piece of audio.
Oh well, hey guys, you guys want to review some beers?
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
Why not?
Zoom,
sure.
We're gonna have to do it after a break. So fucking yeah.
All right.
This is dangerous, JR. This is real dangerous.
This is dangerous, JR. This is real dangerous.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So Matt, why don't you lead us off there?
With what?
With the beer review, man.
I just opened the beer, though.
Well, what was your first beer?
What are we doing here?
The first beer I drank or the third?
Yeah.
What are you reviewing for the podcast?
You suck, man. This is why you suck. This is the worst.
I don't suck. I'm just messing with you. Jerking your chain, bro.
Yeah, it's easier when you're not with us because we can't team up on you easiest.
Yeah, because then the audio doesn't work.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Anyways, yeah, this week went back to Kilter. So Kilter needs to stop releasing beers, but they shouldn't actually stop releasing beers.
Opposite.
Yeah. So I got that test batch last week, Jordan. And then this week they released their JaJaJa, which I will get to in a second. And now they're releasing something. Well, we'll get to the beer news, but they're releasing something else this week, another sour, and then apparently got another batch of Space Jam going. They just those guys. Did they sleep?
Jordan, this is your last call to get the beer news prepared.
I got it. I'm ready.
Anyways,
I don't need to do the beer reviews until the end of this process.
Yeah, but you never get it ready anyway.
I've got it. I'm fine. It's fine.
so
fine.
This week I drank Kilter's latest release, the JaJaJa, or the JaJaJa for us.
I like I like JaJaJa.
Nobody likes Jar Jar Binks, so
JaJaJa.
the JaJaJa. Yeah, so the JaJaJa.
JaJaJa.
It's their spicy Mexican stout. Now, you call it a spicy Mexican stout, it better be spicy, and it is. It gives you that heat on the sips. You get a lot of chocolate, a little bit of bitterness. You know what? It says it's got cinnamon and vanilla. I didn't pick up a lot of cinnamon. A little bit of vanilla on the finish, which was nice. As far as your heavy, because it is a 6.7 ABV.
Mm-hmm.
As far as your strong stouts go, this is really good. Honestly, though, as far as a Kilter stout goes, had better. S'more Scout was better. The coffee one, Cool Beans.
Oh
Cool
yeah,
Beans.
ooh, yeah,
Cool
yeah.
Beans was better. The S'moreo better. It's good. It's approachable as far as like this Mexican stout style goes, but I feel as if maybe a little underwhelmed. Now that being said, it's still Kilter, so I still gave it a 3.75 on Untapped. You can follow me at Gagne Matt. This sniff still works on Zoom, eh?
Oh, good. So they all know you have 2 teams.
But yeah, I mean, go pick it up because it's very unique. There's not a lot of people doing this kind of style in the city. So if
it takes a lot of balls to pull that off, honestly.
They dumped a lot of chilies in there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you really gotta go for it.
They have like 4 different chilies.
They have, it says on the can, they have ancho, pasilla, and guajillo.
Yeah, those all sound real for sure.
There's one more.
No, that's all they have on the can.
Jordan, I'm pretty sure Kilter knows what they put in.
I don't know. Some of the shit they made was just everything they had left.
Like
All
this
right,
sour that they're
It was
coming out with?
good.
All right, Jordan, so
Yeah,
you're
it was
next
good.
up there.
Oh,
What you got something weird now. You got something weird. I want to hear about it.
Yeah, I mean, I did my usual thing and just picked something I didn't really understand. Half Pints made something called Ananas.
Which is pineapple
I
in
think
French.
I think that's pronounced Ananas. And it's maybe the creepiest looking can I've ever seen.
Terrifying.
It is terrifying.
Don't show that.
Absolutely terrifying.
It is a pineapple cheesecake kettle sour.
One more time.
And
What is it?
It's a pineapple cheesecake
Question.
kettle sour.
Has anybody ever had a pineapple cheesecake?
Never. And did you know that
Yes.
existed?
Yeah,
No?
it's good. Well, it's not. I think like it doesn't fit very well in my opinion because the pineapple's like too subtle in how they make it. But yeah. So listen, I'm gonna give this like one more big sip before I rate it.
That was a sip.
You know when something, it's not. We've come to expect flavor, right, from some of the places in the city, and it has it. It does. But I want to say that this beer for 5.6%, and maybe it's the can I got, is quite weak. It drinks too smooth. Like there's no sour. There's none of that.
Nondescript.
I don't know. There's no carbonation. Matt, thanks for the flash that you just put in front of the camera there. That was fantastic because you had to take a picture.
Fuck, I
So
hate you.
it was, this beer is the most, is just, like, it's one of those things where I'm not going to rate it. No, I am going to rate it poorly, but it's not because I like don't respect what they did. They tried something new, and I really
They shot
respect
their
that.
shot.
Like, they shot some shots, and pineapple cheesecake is like, it's a hell of a swing. But I find that like it's quite weak for 5.6%. And when you have it, you'll kind of feel that like the mouth feels almost water-like it's very casual.
Yeah.
And there's not much to it. So I'm going to give this a 2.5.
Wow.
You're in Johnny territory right there.
Not because I like hate it outright, but it's like, if we're being honest about the reviews, like this just isn't a great beer. I don't think it's something people are going to love, but I do respect them for making something, putting it out, and like going off the board. So you can follow me at JSCO55. It's been, I've had a really good run of beers recently. So to get back down in the twos is rough, but we're back. So,
and it's not like they came out with that and they were like, this is going to be the greatest beer they ever tried. They didn't push it too hard. It's something they're trying. And then like, sometimes you just miss.
Yeah.
That's okay.
They tried it, they put it out, and like I think, I don't want to speak for Half Pints, but you don't see Half Pints do a lot of stuff like this. And I think they look around the city and see like Kilter, Barnhammer, Non-Such, Sucrums, just like TCB just dominating with sours. And I don't know if the folks at Half Pints are like, shit, they don't know what to do with that. But,
is it?
I really like Half Pints core pours, if that's any consolation. Like,
That's
I'm
what
a
I was
pretty
just gonna
big
say.
fan of the St. James Pale Ale is a big one for me. But this just ain't it, Chief.
Is it?
This just ain't it.
Is it? Am I out of bounds in saying that their 4 core pours, which are the Little Scrapper, the Pale Ale, the Stir Stick Stout, and the Bulldog, the Amber Ale, are those 4 the better? If you're gonna package core pours together, theirs is probably one of the better ones.
I wouldn't say it's better. I've had all 4. I think they're the most consistent.
I put it mid. Yeah, I put it mid pack. Like I wouldn't put them up there because I don't think Kilter has core pours. I think they have like juicy, and that's really all they like. If you're going to talk about something that's out there every time you want one, like there's really that. But I would put like Sucrums ahead of them for core pours, and Non-Such and Barnhammer. That's just off the top of my head. But like Half Pints, I think we do a really good job of core pours in the city. But I would put Half Pints maybe at the edge of the top 5 of core pours in the city. Unless I'm missing someone you guys can think of, those 4 are pretty good.
I would have to tend to agree with you on those ones.
TCB, I'd put TCB.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I like TCB sours, their core pours aren't better than Fort Garry or Half Pints in my opinion.
No.
Sorry.
I'd put them ahead of Non-Such.
Yeah, so I guess I'll...
That's just a fucking wild fucking thing to say. Like, that was the dumbest thing you've ever said.
Wow.
No, whoa.
You said some dumb shit.
You have some competition. All right, Pat, round us out after that. Egregious thing.
Yeah, so I went to the beer store, and did you know Little Brown Jug comes out with other stuff?
Yeah. I had their IPA, which tasted like a Belgian IPA. What the hell was that?
The bit doesn't translate because we can't all do it because our audio will cut out if we try to. This is another reason why COVID robs us of joy.
Yeah, but you know what?
Little Brown Jug?
No, it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
Yeah, let Matt do it. Matt, you just do it.
But yeah, I was fully expecting to crack this open, take a sip, and have it taste exactly like 1919. Believe it or not, it does not, but it is still
really good.
Pretty good. I had their what's this called here? It's their English Brown Ale. It's called the Monarchy. You know what? Tasting it, it's got a really nice chocolate taste to it. It says toffee. I'm not getting a lot of toffee, and dark fruit. I'm not too sure what dark fruit means. Matt, if you could elaborate.
Plums, probably.
Interesting. Okay.
That's the first thing that came to mind.
And figs, I would say figs are naturally sweet.
Okay, but either way,
maybe purple grapes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or what about maybe a banana that's way past the normal due.
You were gonna make banana bread, but you didn't.
Yeah, you forgot.
Yeah, we have lots of those in the freezer right now. But anyways, this is good. This is really good. It's not super offensive. It's very smooth. It's not super heavy. I love the chocolatey taste to it. We give a lot of shit to LBJ, like a lot of shit, and for no real reason other than the fact
despite not really having a bad beer.
Yeah, like
No.
We just came out with this accent, and it's like, hey guys, let's run with this shit because it's hilarious. But they're really good. They're solid all the time. You can't I don't think you can go to any restaurant in the city. Well, you can't go to any restaurant in the city right now. But when you could
you
go
literally
to
can't.
restaurants,
I'm 100% sure you can't go to any restaurant in the city.
Yeah, they have 1919 everywhere. So like they're doing something right. And to come out with this and to put a butterfly on the can and for me to grab it and go, I gotta try this. That's fantastic. And so you know what? I'm gonna give the Monarchy on Untappd. You can follow me at Pat Gagne. I'm gonna give this a 3.75 out of 5. I think it's really solid. Would drink again. I think it's probably one of my favorite brown ales I've had in the city.
Whoa.
Yeah. And like I think it might have overtaken TCB's brown ale. And I think it's just
I agree with everything you just said.
It's really good.
And
I'm really enjoying it, and I might go buy more of these because they're that good. So yeah, just to recap, Matt had the
Yeah
from Kilter. He gave it a 3.75.
Yes, I did.
3.75 out of 5. You follow him on Untappd at Gagne Matt with Dos Tes. Jordan had the pineapple cheesecake,
the ananas
sour, the ananas.
And the ananas.
From Half Pints. He gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Not a strong showing from Half Pints. You can follow him at JSco55. And I had the Monarchy, their English Brown Ale from Lil Brown Jug. And I gave it a 3.75 on Untappd. You can follow me at Pat Gagne. And Jordan seems to be ready. So we will throw it to him for the Winnipeg beer news of the week.
There is quite a bit of beer news. I'm scrolling up. So the beer news was going to start off. I'm trying to figure out how far back. Okay, it was Rabbit Punch. So let's start off with the Jingle Bell Bock. That's going to be from Fort Garry Brewing Company. So the Jingle Bell Bock, the Bavarian Doppelbock, that's what that is. So it's a Bavarian Doppelbock. I'm going to have to try that because I'm not sure exactly what that is. And I'm going to have to look it up. But it looks like 8%, which means it's going to be great. We talked about Ananas. It's more like na. Stone Angel Brewing, right? You know what? I mixed them up with Devil May Care, and I went down a rabbit hole trying not to say Devil May Beer, but it's not even the same company, so that's what kind of Monday we're having. Uncle George, a whiskey sour radler.
Wow.
What?
I'm sorry.
What?
Have you had the Uncle George?
Pardon me?
The original Uncle George?
Yes, and I liked it.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised how much I liked it. Okay, so we got Lake of the Woods coming out with a latest beer release for their 2020 winter staycation. I believe the name is Wish I Was There. It's a pineapple coconut session IPA. And so that's going to be coming out this week, opening on Wednesday. So hopefully we'll see some at the local beer stores near you. Sucrum's put out a test batch of the Pancake Porter. Did any of you get your hands on that?
No. So I went to pick up an order from Sucrum's last Wednesday. I went to get because I really wanted the hop fuzz after Jordan's review, and they were putting labels on the cans, and I was like, "Hey, when does that come out?" They're like, Friday at 10. I was like, "Can't buy it now, eh?" And they were like, "No." And I was like, "Sweet."
Did you tell them who you were?
No. I had a mask on. They probably didn't recognize me.
Oh, that's what it was. Right.
I hope to hear from some people on what it was because it was in a silver can, and you know what that means. Pulling Nails, Kilter is lining up. They wanted to do a big Imperial Stout. They've been aging it for 9+ months, and they're looking for basically a way to put this test batch out. Oh, that went so well last time, Kilter. Can't wait to fucking try to get a test batch. There's a guy drinking it out of a bowl, so if you need to replace your groceries with that, go ahead and do that. That's fine. The final 3 pieces of beer news we have. we also have another piece of Kilter news with, I'm just going to come out and say it, the best looking can, at least in a picture I've ever seen.
The sexiest photo shoot ever for beer.
This is just an incredible, and what's awesome is I actually pulled up the original post. So let me actually get it. And the name, it's called Pulp Fiction.
Amazing.
And it's just amazing, right? I do believe they went with purple because Royale, isn't Royale like the color of purple? And there was the Royale with cheese. I don't know. I feel like that might be like too big brain, but I liked it. And the Pulp Fiction is a super juicy, bright and citrusy sour ale brewed with a burst of mango, blood orange, and tangerine. My God, if I don't get 5 of these. But this looks fantastic. So that's going to be coming out. Actually, I believe tomorrow is when you can do your
Tuesday. So yesterday.
So yesterday. Yeah, hopefully you did that. If you didn't, sucks to suck. All right. So another picture of Ryan Cabrera's massive head somehow getting some area like bliss. What a mystical thing that is. You know, like it's almost like if there was a god, he made his head and then gave up on the rest. All right, so Non-Such Beer has Old Ale X from 2020 and 2018. Get excited. This is my favorite bottled beer I've ever had. Like, big bottle. The Old Ale X is a 10% with raisin, caramel, dried fruit, and sweet malt notes. This thing is a weapon of a beer where if you just to get 2 bottles, have yourself an evening. Oh, my God. And finally, Barnhammer is coming out with the Guavatron 2000 Philly.
We bought 2, baby.
Now,
I got 2 coming.
I got 3.
You bought one?
You can
Thanks,
guys
guys.
get them on Monday.
Thanks for offering to,
I was greedy. I don't care.
No, it's okay, Matt. Thanks for sharing the Kilter beers. So yeah,
you can only get one
2000
each.
Philly Sour.
Dummy.
If you'll please let me finish. Barnhammer and I have had issues over guava in the past, and I will not take the rating of this beer lightly. This will be a very serious review. I will be doing it on Monday, and I will take guava to task if needed due to egregious happenings in the past. Patrick, back to you in the main studio.
That was great, Jordan. So lots of beer news, lots of beers to look forward to. I mean, we're stuck at home. What are we going to do? We're going to drink some beers. So, so when we come back, we're going to do some wet bread and some rocket ships.
Oh, Michael, this is going to be fun to watch.
Oh, so back. Oh, good for you.
How many of those ananas did you buy?
I have 2.
So you're just going to power through the second one?
One took a while.
You know what the worst part is? I had to open the beer close to my mic, and when I opened it, I got some beer onto my glasses, so now I can't see. But I'm going to power through.
Right?
I'm going to power through. You don't know what I'm drinking. Shut up.
Yeah, I do know what you're
both
drinking.
pretty much drinking waters right now.
Yeah, whatever. As long as it's beer, who cares? Like, fuck. You're so judgy. Why are you so judgy, Matt?
Because I just want you to be better.
You know what, Matt? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I didn't get a proper beer for the podcast.
You know who's wet bread? Matt.
Yeah, super wet bread. You know, speaking of wet bread, Matt, why don't you lead us off? Hit us up with some wet bread of the week for wrestling.
Don't we just start with the rocket ships? We do this every week.
We're going to start with wet breads this week.
We're going to start negative?
Yeah, let's go negative.
But the negative stuff's way funnier.
Yeah, but the negative stuff is how we are the whole time. So just go negative.
Oh my God, hurry up, Matt.
Don't rush me.
Oh, fuck. Someone has to.
All right, so my wet bread.
Okay.
MJF and Jericho. It should be funnier. There, I said it.
You're so wrong. It's so funny.
No,
what?
It's not. It's not funny.
Oh my God.
I'm so over it. Their match wasn't even good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was fine.
It's not working for me either.
No.
Hey, look.
It's not working for me either.
In the last
That's what it was. Blah.
I would say since the midway point of Jericho's program with Orange Cassidy, it became very evident that Chris Jericho is 50 years old.
No, it became very evident that they are trying to do comedy and it's not that funny. MJF just needs to be a dickhead. Stop trying to be funny. Jericho, stop trying to make MJF funny.
He is funny though.
He's funnier when he's a dick.
It was funny when they were being themselves and they're trying to go past that. Like just be your character. You know, like it's evolving into like a fucking storyline. Like, sorry, not a storyline. That's what we want. It's evolving into like a drama. Like, I feel like I'm watching like an episodic TV show. Like, just I know. How am I explaining this? I'm not watching wrestling.
You are watching an episodic TV
I know.
show.
It's just weird. It's weird. It doesn't make sense. Like, it feels like it's forced, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
It's the only. No, that's a lie, because most of the women's matches I fast forward to, but it's the only part of Dynamite that I fast forward now.
Look, guys, like at the end of the day, if you probably look, I know we don't care about ratings. If you look at ratings and demographics and all those scales, I guarantee you the MJF and Chris Jericho segments are their highest rated segments.
I don't care.
Doesn't mean they're good.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
does. That's exactly what that means. That means they're good.
No, it means people are tuning in. What you're looking for is over time.
Look, I'm not going to get up and go walk away from this situation because that would just be awkward. But you're both wrong here, and you've been wrong since the beginning.
You know what, Pat? I'm sorry that you think that we're wrong.
You know what, Matt? I'm sorry that you think this is a bad part of wrestling when it's really one of the best parts of the show.
It's okay to be wrong, Pat.
Okay. Is that what your wet bread is? Because that's an atrocious wet bread.
It's not only my wet bread, it's the ultimate wet bread of the week.
No, it's not. That's
It's
the
a
Young Bucks.
disappointment.
We're going to
Right.
Vegas. Like, come on, be more cliche, you clowns.
Right. Sammy, where'd you go? You're at the beach.
I guarantee you that Vegas.
Oh, it's probably gonna be hilarious. Probably be funny.
That's what the fuck I mean. Like, it's gonna be good. What are you talking about?
I want MJF to make people cry because
I
he's
want him to
such
be mean.
a dick.
He's being mean to Sammy Guevara.
But Sammy Guevara deserves to be mean too because he's a loser.
This is
I
just
love
childish now.
Sammy. I think he's great.
Yeah, Sammy's
I
the
think
future of
I
that.
think Sammy's good too, but you know what? Sammy said some stuff. Disavow.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Jordan, what's your wet bread of the week there, fella?
I actually had trouble getting a wet bread because I didn't think there was anything that was that bad. Like, I thought it was
Of the
some
things
stuff
you
that I
watched.
didn't love. Yes, of the things I watched. I'm sure if I watch, okay, so all of Raw and SmackDown is a wet bread. Also,
Disagree.
I'm just wondering when we're going to stop being forced to care about the 205/NXT Cruiserweight division. I don't understand. I just don't know at what point do we just give up on having
Is this
the
your wet bread?
Cruiserweight division.
It is his wet bread.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't care for it. I think it's boring. I don't think the storylines help. I think the matches are fun, like as matches, but I don't think there's been a superstar since Pac who's been interesting enough at that weight class to even keep me entertained. And I'm finally just like done. Like, they're trying to make me care about Jake Atlas and a bunch of throwaway guys. And I just can't figure out why I'm supposed to. So
I feel like Pablo Escobar is their guy though.
Pablo Escobar. That's not his name. There's no way that's his name.
the NXT's Cruiserweight division is the women's division of AEW for me. I just am like, okay.
Wow.
And
Oh,
keep
you-
it moving.
So here's
That's how much
blew
I
my
don't
mind.
care. I don't care.
So here's the thing with
I
the
don't care.
Cruiserweight division and NXT or WWE or whatever. They had that tournament, and that tournament might have been one of the best things they have done in the last 15 years. It's up there. It was so good. You were captivated the whole tournament.
The Cruiserweight Classic?
Yeah, the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yeah, that was good.
The match quality was through the roof all the time.
Yeah.
But then they became a show, and the show right away, the show sucked. It was no good.
Oh, okay.
And then they tried to save it,
Can I tell
and
you
then
why?
they brought it on NXT, and now it's like it's the subplot in NXT, and it's just taking away time from good storylines in NXT.
Can I tell you why it sucked after the Cruiserweight Classic? Who was probably one of the biggest stars of the Cruiserweight Classic?
Pac.
Mm-mm.
No, who was it?
Kota Ibushi.
Oh yeah, they couldn't bring him in.
And they didn't have him under contract. His two matches he had, because he won his first, I believe,
yeah, he won.
and then
Wait,
lost
the
his
final.
second. Did he make it to final?
Yeah,
And he lost to who?
TG or
Yeah,
TGP.
TGP or whatever the fuck his
Yeah.
name is.
That's hilarious that Ibushi lost to TGP.
I know. So
Just the thought of that is amazing.
Ibushi goes through this tournament and has like banger after banger after banger, and then they let TJ Perkins or whatever the heck his name was,
That
the
guy,
guy with
yeah,
the guy with the video game gimmick.
yeah,
that's
he
not
dabbed.
cool.
He used to dab.
Oh, don't. Oh,
so
That's my
shitty.
wet bread. That's my wet bread.
Forever.
Dabbing in general. Remember planking?
Yeah, that was cool. That was fun.
No, it was dumb.
Planking was great.
It was up there.
Yeah. So another thing that drives me nuts is here's my other problem is when the champion of NXT and one of their main challengers look like they could be cruiserweights. Because let's be honest, like Finn and Adam Cole aren't exactly big dudes. Like, it's weird to have a cruiserweight division, and then you have him, Gargano. Yeah, but I mean, okay, so it's the WWE cruiserweight personality. You know what a cruiserweight personality is in wrestling? Fucking boring. That's what it is. So
that's why you get pigeonholed.
Yeah. So you know what? If you're gonna have a bunch of dudes who suck, then shuffle them off to the side and like give me another 15 minutes of, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of people. You can't put Ciampa in something significant that fills that same time slot.
Right.
You know, it's just ridiculous to me that like I remember a few months ago we talked about NXT's roster being thin, and then I have like there's like where's Robert Stone been? You know what I mean? Like that guy was more entertaining for 15 minutes than the cruiserweights. So yeah, I mean I don't understand it, and definitely I'll just call it out. Matt's going pee. I don't know what he was doing when we were waiting between Zoom calls.
Yeah, like you have one job.
Sense. Like it's so dumb. Just go. Don't put your headphones back on. Just go pee. Like you are a child.
I can hear you guys.
Okay, so that's
you're absolutely
that's good. I hope you can hear me. So now that we have to talk about this after the podcast. Like you guys getting up to pee during segments is like not okay. Like I'm about to be on it. I'm gonna go on a rant while he's back. There's no like we have while we're zooming. There's big time slots, so I have to compress the audio after our Zoom segment. Why you couldn't go pee during like the 5 minutes, and now you're going to pee? Makes no fucking sense.
You know what?
I've also had a bit of a
for me to be the one that doesn't get up first. Too. Yeah, I don't get up.
Like Pat has the bladder that's the same size as like my dog's bladder, and somehow figured that out. So it is mind numbing to me. And he also has to go like what looks like halfway across his house to go pee. And he comes back with the thumbs up as if he like fucking, figured out
good hero.
Vision in there.
I did it, guys. Yeah. I did
Anyways, guys, look, I figured out where my wiener is and I shot my pee into a bowl. Like, congratulations, Matt. You have a cookie. Pat, your wet bread. No,
next time I am bringing you guys with me. Next time I'm bringing you guys.
Please don't. Okay, so look, here's the deal. Like, I didn't want to double up on.
Actually, out of wet bread, Matt going to the bathroom in the middle of the segment. I just want to officially put that on the board as a wet bread. Okay, go ahead, Matt.
So
guys, I love you guys.
Yeah, well, you have a weird way of showing it. Oh, he's on his phone again. Look at that.
Pat, just go. We got this. We got this. It'll be fine.
So anyway, my wet bread. I didn't want to double up on AEW because I think my rocket ship's going to be AEW as well. But for me, like Dave Meltzer, like I'm on his ass all the time. I believe I said a couple weeks ago I wanted to burn him at the stake. Let's all just remember that. Good times. So this week it's like,
who is this?
Dave Meltzer. I try not to get obsessed with his match ratings because they're just ridiculous and they don't matter, but whatever. But the fact that he gave the Young Bucks and FTR a 5.5 out of 5, like, it was a good match. Don't get me wrong. It was fine.
The match was good.
But I am not. For me, for 5 stars and up that he gives, Matt's taking another goddamn picture. Can't you wait?
He has the flash.
This is maddening. This is absolutely maddening.
It's unbelievable. I feel like I was just on the movie Men in Black. Like, I can't remember anything. You just flashed a light right in my face. And
yeah, Jordan, I'm sorry that Matt did that to you.
Pat, I'm going to agree with you so much because Meltzer, think about how I do my ratings. Meltzer gives me, like, anxiety over how he rates things. I don't understand how something can... He's given out so many perfect scores. Like, what happens if there's a match better than all the matches he has? Well, I'll just give out 8 stars.
Yeah.
Like, where does it end? Right? Like, the next thing you know, he's going to be in his house, like the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but instead of the connecting things, he's going to have, like, a galaxy of star matches. and he's going to be up there putting little stars on the wall. Like, I made Saturn with all the stars I've given to Kenny Omega. And I don't know. He turned into the count, but it's mind numbing to me.
One star.
Like, and I get it. Like, and this is what he wants. He wants schmucks like us on podcasts to bitch and complain about it. But I don't want to do that, but I'm going to do it because it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to remember the Young Bucks against FTR at freaking Full Gear in 2020, 10 years down the road. I'm just not going to remember it and that's what you're saying. It's a 5.5 match that I'm going to remember 10 years down the road. And I just don't believe that.
Maybe like, I almost feel like his ridiculousness has actually helped hype up the Omega Tokyo Dome matches because like it adds to the lore of like the match itself. And I think that's because a lot of us didn't really see them. Like most wrestling fans in America, I don't think watched it. Like I did, but
I watched it later.
Right? I know. Yeah, and you'll watch it down the road. But I feel like if everyone now that we're all watching these guys wrestle, like they're good, but they're not. Dave Meltzer's almost done them a disservice by overhyping them, you know. And I feel like they're having to like rebuild themselves off the Meltzer hype train.
Yeah.
And
Meltzer also has an affinity for the Japanese style. And just the way the Japanese fans react to stories.
Well, guess what, Dave? Where are we, bud?
Yeah.
Figureitout.com. You know, we're not.
Figureitout.com, he says.
Figureitout.com. Like, we're in fucking Jacksonville, Florida. You know what I mean? Like, we're about that might be the furthest thing from Japan I can think of.
Would
Jacksonville, Florida. So
here's just a quick question. If he had given it a 4.5 that match, would we be having this conversation?
I wouldn't even be talking about it because I wouldn't even look at the score. But the fact that it's 5.5 is thrown in my face. And I have to look at that and go, is it? No, it's not.
Honestly, I think a 4.5 probably would have been.
That's the right score.
I wouldn't have disagreed with that.
Probably.
Yeah. Like anything under 5, I would have been, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care. But anytime he gives it a 5 and above, it gets disputed. And there's only a few that he's given that. Like, was Kenny Omega against Okada, the second one, the greatest match of all time? I don't know. But was it above a 5? Sure. I could agree with that. I'll remember that match.
Yeah, that was
I consider Jim Cornette to be like Skip Bayless, as in I don't listen to him at all, and I know what he's here to do. The problem with Meltzer is he's like the other guy from FS1, not Sterling Sharp or Shannon Sharp, whichever Sharp it is, but whoever the other guy is, Max Chrysler. I don't know what his name is. But he has like the problem with Meltzer is he has a token of information every once in a while that's like actually good from backstage. And then he'll say something outlandish to get clicks, and you're like, God damn it, I hate you, but I have to keep keep on your Twitter just in case you say something smart. So hopefully one day he just goes off the wagon and we don't have to listen to him anymore. And then Cornette, we just like you just put him on a shelf somewhere and just like, oh, that's Crazy Bob up in the
corner. Okay, guys, let's jump into some rocket ships. It's not on a positive note. I feel like we're very negative because we're on Zoom. Let's go positive. Matt, what's your rocket ship of the week?
Okay, so
is the discussion filtering through the screen? It's probably me. Big time negative vibes from Jordan today. I'm very upset.
Jordan, bring out those Nala. Jordan, we need those Nala vibes, buddy.
I know. I'm pissed because we can't get together, and I have a hard time adjusting my emotions, as you understand. So the rage just stays in my heart. So I'm like deep right now. I'm just like angry. You know what? I think
I'm sorry that you're raging.
Yeah, Dave Meltzer caused COVID. That's what I think.
Whoa!
I can't prove it, but I'm working on it. I'll say it. Dave Meltzer caused COVID.
I am not going to tag Dave Meltzer in any post this week.
Yeah, tag him. I wanted to hear it. Meltzer, you want to see an attention-grabbing headline? Meltzer, you know what that statement is? 25 out of 5 stars. Like it's 25. It's 25 smiley faces out of 5 frowny faces with a crying tear. That's what it is. Because stars are arbitrary. Right? None of it matters.
Moving on to our rocket ships. Okay, so I have I wrote down a lot. There was some good wrestling this week, as Jordan said.
You only get one.
I'm going to give an honorable mention that I think nobody's going to say because I don't know if it's a rocket ship yet, but I really like the interaction.
Okay, go.
This is just my honorable mention. Otis and Chad Gable
Stupid.
No, I think this is going to be fun.
No, it's stupid. Continue with your
Then
actual
watch it.
rocket ship.
You know why I think it's going to be fun real quick?
'Cause you're
Otis
dumb.
and Chad Gable train together. I think they have a relationship, prior relationship. And I think Chad Gable, this might be what takes him to a different level. I think he has that potential. And I think this Otis might be the guy he needs.
Okay, Matt, tell us your real rocket ship because I just don't want to listen to that shit anymore.
Pat, before you go, congratulations on hitting Vikings money line. You made no
Let's
money.
go. Let's go.
Matt, can you give us one of your other 45 picks for a rocket ship?
So I'm going to go to AEW.
Straight.
The opening match, Brian Cage and Matt Sydal. That was a
Yeah, okay.
that was a hell of a match, and I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
I thought Brian Cage was going to throw him around a little bit. Sydal was going to bump for him, maybe do some flippy stuff. They had a hell of a match.
It was great. It was really good.
And it made me forget for a second that Matt Sydal botched.
No, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that ever.
I said for a second.
That was one of the greatest things we've watched together. I can't remember. I think it was just me and Pat. That was amazing.
It was just me and Pat. But also, it reminded me why I still think Brian Cage is going to be a top guy in AEW. He has the look. I feel like he works really well for a big. He kind of reminds me of like a Batista in Batista's prime, where he can go and he can work a match with a guy that is able to bump around for him a little bit. And is he going to be on Dave Batista's level? No, I don't think.
I'm going to go. We could talk about this, table it for later. I think Dave Batista might be one of the most overrated wrestlers of all time, but I'm just going to leave it there.
Do you think Brian Cage is better than Dave Batista?
Yes.
Yes.
And see, I wouldn't argue with you.
Okay.
I think Dave Batista had the WWE machine behind him, which is why. But I think Batista had a lot of great stuff in WWE, but I think it's because they put him with the right opponents at the right times. He may have been one of those guys that he's one of the better booked talents in WWE history.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And I think Brian Cage can make a lot more out of a lot less.
That's fair.
Than Batista could.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I just feel like Sydal came out, Cage came out, and I was like, this will probably be okay. And I was like, whoa, that was way better than okay.
Yeah. That was a match I expected to skip through after about the 25% into it mark, and I ended up watching the whole thing. So I agree. And Brian Cage is silly athletic for a man his size. He's ridiculous, impressive to watch every single time. That guy could be playing. If that guy wanted to play football, I believe he could play football. If he just started training in whatever he wanted to be when he was young,
he's an
he
athlete.
could just be that, right?
He's an athlete,
he's just freakish. Like I don't know how tall that man is, but I could see him playing defensive tackle in the NFL and ruining some lives. But that guy's fun to watch. Actually, no, never mind. He'd be a rugby player. I feel like that guy would be just a warthog on the rugby field. He would be fun to watch.
That's the thing. His like gas tank is huge.
Good.
He does not gas out for a man that big.
Like
he's not Ultimate Warrior where he runs down to the ring and he's gassed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna ask him to take a piss test either, man. You just do whatever it is you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing, man.
You do what you. And the fact that Mike Gagne, the fact that our father, I was like Brian Cage. Oh yeah, he was a bodybuilder. I was like, what? How do you know who Brian Cage is? He's like, why wouldn't I know who Brian Cage is?
Oh, there you go.
I was like, oh, okay, Dad. Mad respect.
All right, Jordan. What's your rocket ship of the week, there, fella?
I have two. I'm actually somewhat going to piggyback with Matt. Connected to Brian Cage, I've come to start really enjoying everything Ricky Starks is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he says anything or does anything, I think he's very much like a nice mix of wrestling from back in the day where he's very focused on having to beat this guy or having to be great or having to do this and having to do that. Like, I think what's nice about Ricky is I feel like when he says something, I believe it. I feel like when he says he has to beat a guy, it's rare. I think a lot of guys say that now and you don't believe that they have to beat someone or that it's important. I think like Cody's really good at making you think that, what he's about to do is the most important thing in the world to him. But I feel like with Ricky, whenever he talks, the way he moves and the way he talks and cuts his promos and his matches are awesome. So I'm growing to be a really big fan of him. My other rocket ship this week.
I didn't really like Starks in the beginning, if I can just cut you off.
Me neither.
I hated
him. I hated him.
I didn't like his gimmick. I didn't really like the way he spoke, but I agree with you. As he's been on TV more, I've really grown to like.
Yeah, out of the clouds, really.
Yeah,
whatever he's doing, I'm into.
I don't know what it is, but there's something there, and I'm all in on him for right now.
Yeah, I want to see him.
So I'm going to try to drop a name on you guys. Hideyuki Iwashita. Do you know who that is?
No, I had no idea.
Is that Bao?
I don't think so. Let me tell you why. Maybe I don't know what a bao is. Bao is a really good food. Where it's like a bao. Okay, so AEW games came out this week, and we have not seen what I think to be like a really good wrestling game in a long time. Okay, I think, in my opinion, Here Comes the Pain was the last like really good wrestling game.
I would support that.
But I think we all long for the days of No Mercy, right?
I was gonna say
the old school N64 games. And let me tell you that Hideyuki Iwashita not only was directly a part of the No Mercy games back in the day, he also made Def Jam. The Def Jam Vendetta games was one of my favorite fighting games of all time.
Yeah.
And he is actually, so the powerful thing is this. We have AEW, we have Ukes. You should know, if you're a fan of wrestling game, you should know who Ukes is.
Yeah.
And that gentleman who made No Mercy and made the Def Jam games are coming together to make the new AEW PS5 game.
Really?
Get excited.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
Because I think what makes a good wrestling game and what's fell out of favor in the wrestling games recently, it was too focused on like, it's like a button combo for everything. It became Mortal Kombat. Like it took like 95 million buttons to do 10 different, like to do one. A wrestling game should be, me and my friend pick up a controller and we can do a heavy attack, a light attack, a heavy punch and a light punch or whatever, a heavy strike and a light strike. And it should be so simple that anybody can pick it up and do a bunch of different things. I don't think that's easy to do as a game designer, but I think wrestling games they can't be complicated. They have to be accessible to all people. And I hope that's the way they're going with this next one. And if it's anything like Def Jam and anything like No Mercy, boy, oh boy, are we in for a treat. Because Def Jam Vendetta was awesome. Awesome. I would play that game today.
And you know what? Kenny Omega's big into video games, so they're gonna make something.
Yeah, even they put out some footage of the early animations, and it's a little too, cartoony for me right now. I'd like to see them pull that back a bit to a more realistic level. But I thought it was a little over the top. Like Kenny Omega looks like his body was rippling with waves, and it made no sense. Like he's not that shredded, But I get it. So Pat, please finish us off with your rocket ship.
I can't
finish him.
I can't believe that it got to me here. I didn't think I was going to get this rocket ship. I was going to try and take a piece of it, but I think I can just take the whole segment. The Cody Rhodes segment on AEW, and then the introduction of, I had to look up her name, Jade Cargill. Didn't know who she was. This chick has it. 100% has
What is it, Pat?
Charisma, the look. She's a smoke, and I hope she's good in the ring. If she's good in the ring, she'll be the best thing in AEW. I'll say it.
She reminds me of Charlotte Flair. She's good in the ring.
Yeah.
She has the other two.
Oh yeah.
But what was the best part of that segment?
The best part was, okay, look, here's the thing.
The picture in our group chat.
Yes, that helps.
Oh, the segment. Sorry, that's on me.
Because again, Jade Cargill, total smoke. But Brandy Rhodes has been in this weird, like, continuous transfer. Like, she started out, she was going to be a heel, and she was going to be, like, with Awesome Kong. She was, like, a sorceress leading some God knows what. I don't know what it was. And then she became kind of just on Team Cody and was with the Bunny, and they had this weird tag team, and then that whole fell apart. And then she came out and cut a top 5 promo of the year on Jade Cargill. I'm not gonna do it over. I'm not gonna say
anything. She took out a machine gun and just unloaded the barrel.
That is who Brandy Rhodes is, and she needs to do that more often.
Do you think Cody was in the ring going, "Yeah, girl, let's go"?
Cody told her, come out and just be you for once. Just be you, because I don't feel like she's been herself since coming to AEW. She's trying to be like this weird super face, and she just needs to be a badass, and that's what she is.
It
And
seems like she lets some shit go. Like that was just a promo where she's like, I'm just gonna come out and just almost unwind in a weird way.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
Cargill
when you're
hung
trying
with
to
her.
put Awesome Kong and Luther over, like your back must be exhausted. Like that's a lot of weight to carry.
Like
No pun
Cargill?
intended. I mean like wrestling. Jade Cargill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cargill.
I don't know. Whatever her name is.
She hung with
figure it
her.
out.
The one thing I could say is Brandy could have came out and absolutely buried her with that promo. That's how good it was.
But I feel like she did bury her, but then the way Jade Cargill held herself, it was like
the smack on the ass.
You got nothing.
The smack on the ass
at
the end.
Yeah.
I was like, you got buried. You have nothing else to say. She smacked her on the butt.
And
And
that's all you needed.
That's all you needed. It was perfect. It was really, really well done.
My Best Buy package has shipped, gentlemen.
PS5
New rocket ship, PS5 on the way to Casa de Jordan. Let's go.
Jordan, I'm very happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a big deal.
But I think
you know what? Got news today, buddy.
This was a good week of wrestling. I think we've really come into our own. We're adapting to the Zoom again. I feel like we are one with the Zoom.
We didn't even talk about McIntyre and Reigns, which was absolute fire. McIntyre and Reigns, absolute fire.
Let's take one last break, and when we come back, we will do a flight and a pint. We'll see you in a sec.
No disqualification match, and things are about to get extreme.
All right, and we're back. One last back. It's time for Flight and a Pint, my favorite segment that we have ever created for the show. Because
we only created one segment.
It is What Breath Rocket Ship
and retro reviews.
Retro reviews is a
It
totally
literally have
unique
3
idea.
segments.
Like, Matt, why do you hate the show? What is your problem?
I don't hate the show.
Oh,
You know
but you
what
just
Matt
like
has
it.
in the bottom of his toilet when he goes pee in the middle of the segment? He has a logo of our show and he just pees on it.
That's just so I don't make a mess.
Actually, everybody, we're coming out with what are those things called?
Urinal
Bumps
cakes.
and Bears urinal cakes.
I'd buy that. I'd buy that.
You know, it's not a terrible idea. It's not the worst idea I've ever had.
Okay. Hey, Jordan, why don't you tell us what kind of Flight and a Pint we'll be drinking today?
Oh, let me tell you what we're drinking today. First of all, you're going to get a flight, then you're going to get a pint, right? But you're going to have to go to a store and you're going to have to socially distance, get it. Or, no, you can't go to a store. Or you're going to pick it up, or you're going to get it home delivered, okay? And then you're going to get on Zoom, okay? And you're going to take 4 equal glasses and you're going to pour it out. But instead of beer, you're going to open the can and a High Flyer is going to come out, okay? That's what's going to happen. So we have a flight and a pint of High Flyers today, due to being stuck at home with a government-mandated Zoom, even though I respect what they're doing. Thank you to our frontline workers. Pat, back to you.
All right, so Matt, before we started recording, bragged that he had
This could be
we will decide who
a disaster.
Yeah. Matt, who's going to pick first? How did you decide this?
I decided based on everybody's mood.
Oh.
I picked based on mood.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I'm either first or last.
So no. So Jordan didn't have the best of days. So Jordan, when would you like to pick?
Oh, shit. I'll go first.
That's
Wow.
weak, pussy.
You're gonna go first? No, that's respectable.
And I actually picked Matt. You get to go second because Pat called me a pussy.
Jordan,
Damn it.
I'm sorry that Pat called you a pussy.
It's okay. I mean, I'm assuming he meant a very beautiful cat, and I consider myself to be the same.
Huh.
I'm more of a
if you
tabby. I'm more of a tabby.
I was just gonna say if you could be any kind of cat, which cat would you
I'd be of all the cats, like lions, tigers.
Oh yeah, felines in general.
Yeah, I'd be a Siamese cat.
Why?
If you please.
It'd be a Mexican hairless cat because they're cool.
That cat is essentially a rodent. Mexican. Why are they Mexican?
I don't know.
Oh, you just doing the word.
Oh, I think they are. I think that's what they're called.
Disavow. Wow.
I've never heard that before.
You
in
think
my
all
life.
hairless cats are Mexican? Disavow.
All right,
Wow,
Jordan, who you
Pat.
picking first, okay?
Wow, okay. So picking
Scroll
first,
through the internet.
here we go, because Jordan's about to get yelled at. But I'm gonna pick
Should
my
we define
favorite.
what a high flyer is first?
No. It's
This
whatever
is
you
the
want it
tough
to
part. So I think there's like true high flyers, and then there's people who did crazy shit. I'm gonna pick someone who I think is the best mix of the two, and I'm probably gonna get yelled at for this, but I don't care. My first pick is gonna be Rob Van Dam, because
You know what, Jordan? I don't hate that.
thank you.
No.
I found that even when RVD did normal moves, they were spectacular.
Yeah.
He found a way to make
Even selling.
He incorporated somersaults into moves, aka rolling. Rolling Thunder. Was that Rolling Thunder?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rolling
yeah.
Thunder.
Rolling Thunder.
Just a useless somersault.
Yeah, he would catch kicks, and instead of just punching a guy in the face, he would hop over their leg and hit him at the side of his ankle. The 5-star frog splash, he is the best seller of his own move ever. I don't know how the hell.
That's true. That's true.
I think his own move hurt him more than them. But that's my first pick, because I felt like every time you watched an RVD match, you knew what you were getting and didn't at the exact same time, and that's awesome.
So I'm number 2. Full disclosure here. I feel like as far as fighting the pint goes, this is the first one we've done where you're 100% picking based on what you like.
Your own thought, like what you
Yeah.
perceive a high flyer to be.
So Matt's gonna pick Slick with a second overall pick.
This is the first false count anywhere flight in the pie, because there's no rules. We have no bloody idea.
I am not picking Slick.
Matt's gonna be like Rikishi jumped off the cage once, and that was fun to watch. And Mankind made a habit of it. So
In all seriousness, I have to go to a guy. Ooh, I found a piece of cheese on the floor. Thanks, kids. I don't know why that's funny, but it is.
what kind of cheese is it? Taste test right now. Pick it up and eat it.
Fake cheese?
Taste test.
Fake.
Oh,
That's
it's
fake.
wait, no, but like real cheese that's fake, or like cheese because it's a toy?
No, it's like fake toy cheese.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant it was like craft cheese.
False
Like,
alarm, guys. False alarm.
I'm gonna pick Rey Mysterio for the record.
Yeah, I feel like that
Oh,
was
okay.
pretty much right there.
Not only because I think Rey Mysterio is, if he wasn't a high flyer, what would he have been? But also because, like, really the guy, there's a lot of guys that he influenced that we watch now that I feel like wouldn't exist if Rey Mysterio didn't exist. So that's why I picked him.
I feel like that's like the safest pick you can make. Like if you don't pick Rey Mysterio in the first round, I feel like it's not a good draft for high
Yeah,
flyers.
I feel like one of us had to. Like,
Yeah,
If I
even-
didn't pick him, Pat, were you gonna pick him?
No, I was not.
See, that's
actually.
why I kind of felt like I needed to pick him.
But also, I was also planning that he wouldn't be there if I was the third pick.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
fair.
figured someone else was going to take him. So I'm about ready to blow up the draft right now
Oh boy.
Oh, good.
with
good, good.
with my first pick. My first pick of high flyers, emphasis on the S. I'm going to pick the Hardy Boys.
You
can't pick two.
can't pick both.
Oh, was there any rules set forth that we could not pick a tag team during this
Matt, you know
category?
what? This is his third and fourth pick.
No.
Yeah, it is
No.
Jeff and Matt Hardy back to back.
Nope. I'm picking the Hardy Boys as a
Hey
collective.
Pat. I hate you.
This is
Oh,
okay.
gee.
So we're going right off the board. Okay, let's do it then.
You
Hey.
just picked two people.
No. I picked one tag team.
No. Okay, let's do it. You've opened Pandora's box. I hope you know this is your fault. When
So I picked the Hardy Boys, not only because I think if you were to just pick Jeff, it would not look good for Matt, and you can't pick Matt without picking Jeff. So they should both.
Yeah,
go
you
together.
can. You can pick Jeff without
Matt?
picking Matt.
Matt, this is my pick. Please stay quiet. This is the best high flying tag team of all time. They revolutionized TLC matches along with Edge and Christian and the Dudley Boys, but they were not. Those two other teams were not high flyers. I am taking the Hardy Boys with my first overall.
Matt Hardy was not a high flyer.
He fell off stuff. He flipped. He hurt himself. He is a high flyer. Jeff and Matt Hardy, the Hardy Boys. Pat's first pick.
Pat, I'm just telling you now, you never should have done that.
Oh no.
No.
Okay, well, all right. Well, and mine.
I'm appalled by that.
Are you?
I can't believe that we are allowing this.
There was no rules set forth that we couldn't take a tag team in this category.
Okay.
Pat.
No, Matt, it's okay. Let it happen. It's fine.
I hate you.
My next pick, second pick for Pat in the Flight and a Pint of High Flyers, purely
I figured you were
preference.
third.
One of my favorite wrestlers of all time, AJ Styles. I'm taking with my second pick. Not for his work in WWE. I was a closet old school TNA fan. If you were to go back and watch the series of matches between him, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe, some of the best wrestling matches ever.
Man, they were good.
He and
Pat, when was the first time we ever saw AJ Styles?
we watched one of those weekly pay-per-views at the lake
Yeah, we
on
did.
tape. That's
Yeah.
when you had to pay, what was it, $5 for the pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a weekly, and the people were paying. People liked it. So, yeah, so I pick AJ Styles. I think he made high flying cool, and I think we're gonna get to Jesus Christ. Please don't pick them next. That's just terrible. I pick AJ Styles for the sheer fact that he revolutionized high flying. Jesus Murphy. Please.
I'll just full disclosure. I typed something in the group chat and I shouldn't have did it.
Please don't pick him.
Oh my God, that's
If you're-
good.
I'm not going to say it, but if you're at home, just think back through wrestling history. There's an
No, don't.
all-time,
Don't do it.
all-time high flyer.
All right, I pick AJ Styles. Matt, go ahead. Pick number 2.
All
you.
right. So, like, I want to go with guys I like, but I feel like I'm gonna get crucified if I do it. So, I'm just gonna go with it. I might start picking Slick. I don't know, but I'm picking Ricochet.
I think that's fair.
I feel like that's a late round pick, but you can
Yeah,
pick
I
him
feel
now
like
if you
it's a
want.
late round pick. But
No, you know what? We're talking all-time best high flyers here. Ricochet is a human video game. Ricochet
That's true.
defines modern high flyer.
I would say so.
Because
Yeah.
Is there anybody in modern wrestling that does it better than Ricochet?
There is shit that Ricochet did when he was in NXT that I've never seen done before, and I've watched wrestling for close to 25 years. Like he leapfrogged over the one of the corner poles onto the outside and landed on his feet.
Yes.
That's
he
incredible.
he does stuff that you could see like stunt people do in a
Mhm.
movie.
Yep.
And you're like, wow, that was kind of cool. He does it live. If
Like-
that's not an all-time best high flyer, I don't know what is.
Like I'll call him Neville. When Neville was in WWE, he was the man that gravity forgot. No, that's Ricochet. I feel like he jumps and does stuff that is just not humanly possible.
Yes. Is he great on the mic? No. Ricochet is not overly good.
But
on
that's
the
not
mic.
what this Flight in a Pint is about.
But here's my thing. You can't tell me you can't find a spot that Ricochet's not on your show every week.
leave it to WWE to find a way to blow that talent. You know what would be a good way to make the cruiserweight division fucking matter?
And be the
Put the
champion,
belt on Ricochet
right?
and let him just wrestle anybody. He
Not
wrestled
fucking
broomstick.
not fucking rocket appliances, boys.
No, it's not. It's not rocket appliances. You're correct.
I had him low on my list, Matt. I had him low on my list, but that's a good pick.
Well, thank you, Jordan. Blow this bitch up.
My
No,
next
please,
pick.
please don't.
Boy, oh boy, is there, there's someone who really gave it his all
Oh my God.
every time he went in the air. He really did. He regularly wore blue, who really risked his life on a week-to-week basis with the way he moved. And for me, my pick is going to be the Ultimo Dragon. I love the Ultimo Dragon was a Japanese wrestler who went to Mexico and learned lucha libre style, and I think that's a really awesome mix.
Hold on. He's a Japanese wrestler.
Yeah, Japanese-born professional wrestler.
Yes, yeah.
I thought he was Mexican.
No, but he spent a lot of his time in Mexico. I think the
Yeah.
only other style I'd be most interested in seeing is seeing a British trained wrestler go and work lucha libre and seeing what that looked like if you fuse the two. Because I feel like that would just be someone jumping through the air and then missile drop kicking someone right in the face over and over again.
Breaking their nose.
Fun fact, if you don't know who Ultimo Dragon is, take this into account. Chris Jericho, when asked who would be his Mount Rushmore of wrestling, put the Ultimo Dragon on his Mount Rushmore.
That's a big deal, then.
Yeah, that is
That's a big deal. So I'm gonna pick the Ultimo Dragon. For that reason alone, I thought he had a pretty cool background, and if you go back and watch a lot of his matches, I think you're gonna see a lot of interesting things from him. So that's gonna be my second round pick. Moving on to my third round pick, I'm actually gonna think back to someone who I saw in WCW quite a bit and had some really good matches with Eddie Guerrero, and I believe. Okay, I had to Google it to make sure I was getting the name right. Psychosis was someone I really remember being someone who could really move. I thought he did a really good job of bringing that style up to the United States.
Not my favorite.
No, but what I remember him for is I wasn't seeing too much of that in the U.S. or in North America when I started watching wrestling, and Psychosis was kind of like that guy. It was like him and Ray were the different dudes.
Yeah.
And that's who I think of when I think high flyers. Like when you take the Hardy Boys off and I already take Rob Van Dam, now you're leaving me with those who I remember doing shit like that on a regular basis. And I love the idea of getting Ultimo Dragon and Psychosis back to back. I think that's amazing. So, are there maybe better guys specifically out there who is a better high flyer in a singular sense? Definitely. But Ultimo Dragon and Psychosis are two of mine for their body of work. As a high flyer.
Yeah, I think this is, again, like Matt said, this whole draft is going to be not really contentious because it's going to be what do we like in a high flyer? What do we consider a high flyer?
Oh, I know high flowers too, if you want some
flowers. Smells delicious.
But if Pat picks another tag team, I'm gonna leave the Zoom. I'm gonna drive over to his house.
He's gonna pick the Lucha Bros.
Eat his ass.
Shh. I'm not. No, I'm not.
Let's talk about
it.
Go ahead, Matt.
I mean, that'd be better than the freaking Hardy Boys.
Okay.
Matt Hardy is not a high flyer.
The team is though.
Yeah, because Jeff jumped off stuff.
Well, Matt Hardy took his awkward legs and leg dropped as many people as he could.
Thank you.
Compacted his spine.
And Matt was also a high flyer in the taking bumps sense, because that guy loved to.
Interesting that you would bring that up. The taking of bumps high flyer. I'm not going to pick him yet, but
Bubba Ray Dudley.
No, he's the innovator of tag team moves.
It's a big deal.
I'm going to go to another fairly recent type wrestler. When I thought high flyers, I thought, okay, I didn't watch a lot of Mexican wrestling. I didn't watch a lot of Japanese wrestling back in the day. So I went really to a lot of newer stuff. So Pac or Neville?
Yes.
That's going to be my number 8 pick.
With Pac. He's cooler as Pac.
Bastard.
Yeah, he's way cooler. The bastard is way cooler than... No.
He's a bastard.
I absolutely love him on AEW. I'm so glad he's back.
I love when Justin Roberts announces his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when he walks out, you don't look at that guy and go, oh yeah, this guy's going to jump off a bunch of stuff and do a bunch of flips and stuff. He's what, 5'8"?
Maybe.
Small guy.
And still.
He's a little guy. Yeah.
5'8", but he's built like a brick shithouse. And he does stuff.
Can I just ask you a question? Who would build a brick shithouse?
I mean, if you cured shit the right way, it would probably be quite strong.
Oh, okay.
Brick shit.
But I think Pac might be the greatest blend of power and
this might be the most Googleable thing we've ever had on the show. I can only assume that the idea of a brick shithouse was that's what people used to poop in the medieval times. Like, no, I'm serious. That's the only thing I can think of is like, oh, look, okay, in Australia, a shithouse or a duddy is an outhouse used for urinating and defecating. These buildings used before indoor, basically it was considered to be like, it's an outhouse, but with brick. So it's like a fancy outhouse.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So the internet was created so we could do this.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You remember when we'd have to go to like an encyclopedia and even hope that the idea of that would be there? Like we'd have to go to the library and like throw our backs out trying to lift A through C off the fucking
I remember
wall.
my dad once told me that before the internet, you could lie and nobody would know.
Oh, those were the golden ages.
Fact checking was not a thing.
Isn't it crazy that we have the most ability we've ever had to fact check in our life and arguably the most dissent amongst political ideologies in the world?
Yeah.
Way to go, humans. If we're even here in 100 years because of climate change, we'll see how we're doing then, I guess.
At least it's a hoax. So
The Paris Accord is just a high and die.
Ayukin.
So Pat with his third pick. Again, I'm going with people that I like and what I think
all of Lucha Underground, since you're just picking everything.
Whoa. I want to go I remember him more as a high flyer in his WCW time. I think he's timeless. I think he was taken away from us too soon.
Oh,
I'm going to take Eddie Guerrero.
I thought it was coming back around to me.
Yeah.
That's who I thought you were picking as well.
For me, it is, if you remember, the one match I remember with Eddie was when the Halloween Havoc match with Rey Mysterio Jr.
That was good. It's not as good as people remember it to be.
I disagree. I think that might be one of the best matches of all time.
I don't like ripping of masks.
Okay, well, if that's your
Well,
one
don't watch
complaint about that
AEW
match,
this week because
I know I watched it and I didn't like it at all.
yeah, if that's your one gripe with that match, Matt, you're really grasping at straws.
I understand how much you could dislike it. I also think it's a cheap. It's a cheap
heat moment.
Cheap heat moment, yeah.
But the whole move, all the move sequences.
Oh,
all the
don't
chemistry.
get me wrong. Yeah, and Eddie trying to ground him, but yet still going to the top rope to do his moves and stuff.
Yeah,
the story is really good. The ripping of masks. I don't know why. I'm not this like wrestling purist who loves like masks and lucha libre and all this. I just don't like that.
Yeah. Well, I just picked him because he's one of the greatest of all time, and I think he needs to be on this list in general. And compared to RVD sells the 5-star frog slash the best. Eddie executed it the best, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, it comes back around to me. Now I'm going to go snobby wrestling fan Pat on you guys. I'm going to pick the Dynamite Kid. That's my fourth pick.
Why are you picking the Dynamite Kid?
Because he revolutionized small man wrestling.
Is that Billy Kidman?
No.
Oh.
This was the British Bulldogs tag team partner. I read his book. He's a dick.
Did you say he revolutionized small man wrestling?
Who did Chris Benoit?
The guy was 5'8". The guy was 5'8" and he weighed like 270 pounds.
Okay, Matt. Ask about half the guys who are still wrestling now, who were in the Attitude Era, who they base their style off of. They'll tell you the Dynamite Kid. But it's okay. You're right. I'm wrong.
It's okay that most of them either like committed suicide or were on so many painkillers that
has nothing to do with anything. Chris Jericho, Bret Hart, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero,
Chris Jericho,
Dean Malenko
did not idolize.
Yes, he did.
Disavow one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. When Bret Hart has wrestled a fuck ton of people. When Bret Hart says the Dynamite Kid was his greatest opponent he's ever wrestled,
he's lying to you because he doesn't like Shawn Michaels.
He said Shawn Michaels is number 2. Have you watched a Dynamite Kid match, Matt?
No.
I mean, I thought it was Billy Kidman, so
watch a match. See if you can find some old Stampede stuff. See if you can find some old Japanese matches. He has great matches.
I have watched the Dynamite Kid match. I don't know. Maybe I just see him as a tag team wrestler.
Okay, well, he wasn't. So educate yourself and then come back and hate the pick. Okay.
You picked the Hardy Boys as a duo. You dummy.
I have the way I'm looking at my draft right now. I have the best team, so I don't know what the hell
Not even close.
Okay, Psychosis. You don't even know who the hell Psychosis is.
I just explained to you. I know exactly who he is.
While reading his article on Bleacher Report.
No, first of all, Bleacher Report's for idiots. Second of all, his mask had horns.
All right, Matt. Give us your next great pick of somebody who's wrestling now.
I never said that my picks were great.
To be honest, if we're talking about high flying in its strictest sense, it should all be wrestlers who are probably around now.
Thank you, Jordan.
I mean, if you're talking straight high flying, you could argue the Young Bucks might have to be on there. Not because they're good, but they do a ton of flippy shit.
They do. They do.
Let's talk about it.
Will Ospreay. Ospreay?
Oh, Will Ospreay. Don't do this to me.
Pander some more.
I just did it, Jordan. Are
you taking Will Ospreay?
Yeah.
Talk about a fifth round chip shot. That was gonna be my cherry on top.
Hey Matt, don't worry. Will Ospreay probably modeled himself after the Dynamite Kid too. Jackass.
He probably did because he is British, but
that's heartbreaking. That's absolutely heartbreaking.
Will Ospreay is like, you go on YouTube, you watch anything that's not like North American wrestling, you've probably seen Will Ospreay because the guy is incredible. The stuff he does is ridiculous. It's incredible. And
Pander. It's a pander.
Part of the reason I took him is because I knew it would piss Jordan off. And
I appreciate that. Matt.
But I mean, the other part of the reason I took him is because, I mean, he is actually, him and Ricochet, let's go.
Great
matches, yeah.
Fantastic.
I'm not totally convinced Matt actually really knows who Will Ospreay is, but it's a good pander pick.
No, I know who he is.
That was going to be my 4-5 back-to-back, and I was going to just walk out of here like a champ.
Well, with RVD as your number one, you're not walking out of anything.
I disagree.
We wind the tape. Pat says, quote, "I can't argue with that" as your first pick.
I think you did.
That's incorrect.
No, I'll just insert it here. I'll just play it again. All right, so now I have to pick a new fifth pick, but I'll figure it out. Ospreay was going to do my fourth, but that means my fifth moves up to 4. Sabu, baby. Sabu. Hardcore wrestling.
Pat's mad because he was going to pick Sabu.
No, I was not.
Hardcore wrestling and high flying come together into a beautiful mix of sitting on chair, butt bombing people, jumping off shit. Sabu found a way to mix high flying crazy shit with the hardcore world, and it was awesome. And Sabu is an incredible watch no matter what match he's in. And the guy was tough as nails, which I'll always respect because that dude could get hit by
tough as nails or psycho?
Yeah, he's a psycho.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's insane, but
he's clinically insane. He's got to be.
That guy would do anything for wrestling. Like,
that's all he knows.
It's the only thing he's ever wanted to do. All right, so now I am scrambling, and I have to pick between two guys I don't know much about. So
sounds like a good pick.
There's someone by the name, you know what, maybe I just go with, who do I remember? Maybe I change things up. Maybe I go off the board and I go, hey, what's a crazy high flying moment? What's someone who I will never forget their moments of high flying action, because their high flying moment changed the wrestling world forever. But you know what? Instead of that, I'm going to go with someone by the name of Juventud Guerrera. No clue who he is, but this list says he's pretty good. WCW, stuff with Eric Bischoff. There was a cruiserweight division at some point.
Like, this is why your list is irrelevant to me, because
you took Will Ospreay, and you won't let me take the person who should be number 1 overall.
No, No, that would be disrespectful.
Exactly. So I can't. You took 2 picks off my board right away. One because you thought it wasn't appropriate, and the other because
There's so many guys.
Matt
so
took
many
Will
guys.
Ospreay, and then Pat took both Hardy Boys, which is bullshit because like now we can't pick the other one.
No, I didn't take both. I took them as a unit, so they're one.
So why wasn't I allowed to take Jeff Hardy?
Because he's in the Hardy Boys.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You took 2 people with 1 pick. It's bullshit.
I wrapped them up in a nice bow.
You know what? Check
You're a
that. I
beau.
take back Juventud Guerrera. My 5th pick is the Young Bucks as a tandem. Tons of flippy shit. And you know what? Maybe you don't like it, but all the marks out there will love it. You see all the people cheering for them when they won the other day?
Did you just take the Young Bucks or did you take who?
Yeah, he
I
did.
took the
We have-
Young Bucks.
we have
10
our
minutes
first-
left. Zoom says we have 10 minutes left. Thank
We have-
God. So I
We
took
have our
the Young
first.
Bucks.
We have our first take back in Flight of Pine history, like a little bitch.
You know what? And I heard Juventud Guerrera tagged with them once in his life. so yeah,
Juventud.
but-
Juventud.
Juventud gives a shit, Pat. Nobody.
All right, Matt, your 5th pick.
Oh, there's so many good guys left. I'm being serious. But I have to take Evan Bourne or Matt Seidel.
Christ.
All time
I'm
great moment.
fucking with you.
One of the best moments I've ever seen. I love
I'm not taking him. I'm
You
not
take
taking
it.
him.
Who you taking?
Okay. I'm
You
not
take
taking
it.
Evan Bourne. I am taking Kofi Kingston
Okay.
because Kofi Kingston has provided moments. He is a
Kofi Kingston
Kingston-
happens sometimes, and for that, he's our 5th pick.
I mean, he does flying stuff.
Great.
know.
You know what? This makes my pick seem great.
Yeah, Matt. Good,
Oh,
good
like-
reasoning.
No. He does. I don't know, guys. I got to poop. I'm not.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Pat, wrap this up so we can go. I want to go to bed.
You know what?
Everyone
I-
listening to this is this just exhausted. If you're still here, God bless you.
Well, for me, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go again and take another classic wrestler. Can't believe he's still on the board. I'm gonna take Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Not a high flyer. Not a high flyer.
100%
No,
he is.
he did a crossbody.
That's a high flyer. Jumps off top rope.
No. It's not a high flyer.
Well, either
You're
way,
lying.
if
Wasn't
people
that
were to-
Superfly who jumped off the top rope?
Yeah, Jimmy
disavow. I was actually gonna take him, but disavow. I'm not dealing with that shit.
I mean, technically, Chris Benoit also did one move off the top rope.
Also disavow.
But if you look at Ricky Steamboat's body of work, his highlights.
There's another guy I can think of that went real high,
Oh Jesus!
but it was even higher than top rope.
This is not
Well,
going.
no,
the
Chris
way.
Benoit was more of a top
Shane
flyer
McMahon.
guy.
I'm taking a Shane McMahon.
Well, I almost took Shane McMahon too because he used to jump off high
Chris
stuff.
Benoit went off the top wire.
Oh boy.
No. Why? He utilized the top wire.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
All right, I'm taking Ricky Dragon Steamboat. Honorable mentions: Jushin Liger, Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho. You could say Ray Phoenix.
Cold Scorpio.
That's a good one. Billy Kidman,
Pat, are there any others honorable mentions you can think of?
Lita,
Okay. Anyone else?
Shane McMahon. I'm not
Okay.
saying the name you want me to say. I'm just not going to do that. We're not that kind of podcast.
Or, I mean, it's a negative podcast today.
No.
I mean, we might as well jump
No,
in.
we're not doing it. Okay, so
Matt,
Matt's
okay, Matt, just leave. Just go.
yeah. Matt is
Pat,
Matt
wrap
is-
us up. Pat,
yeah,
wrap
Matt's
us up.
pointing that he needs to go to the bathroom. This is a train wreck. We are so sorry. You can follow me at Pat Gagne on Untapped, Jordan at JSco55, Matt at Gagne, Matt with 30s. You can follow us on Instagram at Bros Bumps and Bros Bumps and Beers A&D, and on Twitter at Bros Bumps and Beers. And for the love of God, drink local. Support your local businesses. Drink local. Be a good person. Stay indoors. Let's get us out of here so we can give you in person because this absolutely sucks. I hate Zoom. I hate everybody. We'll see you next week on Bros Bumps and Beers.